Okay guys, hello and welcome back to another episode. In tonight's one, we are looking at Blsp. So last night I asked you guys to comment on my latest community poll tab, saying that basically I wanted to hear what stocks, and mainly penny stocks actually, you guys wanted to see on the channel. Now the reactions so far have been quite decent, and of course if you do have any suggestions, feel free to drop them over there, but please do, consider the fact that it's going to take me a few days, if not weeks, to work through all of them, but I definitely am going to address all of them, and of course we are making a start on it tonight. So clearly we are starting off by looking at Blsp, and we can see that over the past few days this stock is up insanely, and of course the actual gains that we are seeing as of current was what drew me to this one initially. So of course when we're looking all the way to the highs, we were up to a 600% gain, and we have actually fallen down a bit since then. So overall we are now up about 300%. Overall though, over 2 or 3 days, it's a very big increase, and we can see it starting to slow down now. It looks like it may be going back down, and the question for tonight's one is it going to be a buy once that sell-off is over? So of course we're asking all of those questions in tonight's episode. If it sounds like a plan guys, please do leave a like and subscribe. As you guys know, we are trying to grow the channel as much as possible, and you guys have been killing it recently. On top of that guys, if you do want to come talk to us on Discord, you can. Link to our Discord is down in the description, and if you want to become a channel member, you can do that as well. That will be on the join button, so feel free to press that if you would like to support the channel. But with all that being said, I am not a financial advisor, and we are going to jump straight into the video. What we are going to do first is we are going to have a quick look at obviously how it has been moving, mainly since the 19th of December, because obviously previously to that it was doing okay kind of, but it was a very cheap penny stock, really not even trading at all. But recently we are obviously starting to see the action pick up, mainly from about like I said, the 19th, and of course that is why we are focusing from there. So initially we had that increase from the about 0.006 cent mark, so obviously under a cent right there, and then we actually came up a little bit, putting us at about 0.7 and actually move up to about 1 cent from there. And from there again, you can see we just rose and rose past the 2 cent mark. We hit highs overall of about 4 cent, and of course from there we saw a big sell-off, and of course that was to be expected to an extent as it went up by such a huge amount, so fair enough for it for going down after that. But basically once we leveled out again, we were pretty stable in the 3 cent range for the rest of the day. However, towards the later part, from about 12:30 onwards, we saw a bit of a sell-off, to be honest, and of course we ended off the day on about 0.25, so of course not too bad at all. We're looking at a 2.5 cent price right now, and of course looking into the future, I really can see this one going back up. So of course I'm going to be talking about the next week or so in just a moment, but first we are going to look at what the company actually does. So of course you can see this one is coming from Yahoo Finance, so shout out to them. Feel free to Google it once you've watched this video if it sounds good. But from what I can tell from Yahoo Finance, this company is basically a company in the biogas and energy sector. So if we do have a quick read about some of the most important things in this description, we can see Blue Sapphire or Sphere Corporation operates as a development and independent power producer in clean energy production and waste energy markets. So of course the company actually operates in the development and construction of biogas facilities in the United States and actually some other countries as well, including some European countries and also the United Kingdom and actually Israel as well. So we can see they've got quite a lot of different facilities from what we can tell from here, and it was founded back in 2007. So from a company standpoint, it's been around for over the 10-year mark. Things are not looking too bad, because obviously the company is still surviving. Look at some of the other key important things. Obviously the company is not worth very much at all. Market cap is extremely small at 2.4 million, and of course a lot of that will probably have come from that investor attention over the last few days. But looking at this one into the future, it is going to be hard to say. Overall guys, with these penny stocks, especially with this one, I don't see it as being a bad buy, but we need to look at this one realistically guys. And of course I always just tell you my opinion because I am not a financial advisor. But in my opinion this time, this one is really a tricky one when we are looking at this one, because on the one hand, yes, it's going to be a more risky play either way, whether you think it's going to go up or down, but we need to look at the facts guys. With a stock this cheap, it does go up by a few 100% in a day sometimes, and it can come down by the same amount in a day if we are unlucky. So of course market cap is extremely small. I would definitely consider that if I was investing in this one. Obviously if I was going to be buying this one, I would not be buying too much, and I say that about a lot of these cheap penny stocks. But honestly, I do see potential, but realistically guys, obviously it's going to be a bit more of a risky stock to invest in, and for that reason I would definitely go in with about I'd say about £20 to £30 maximum if I was going to be buying this one. And like I said, if you do want to put more in, of course make sure to do your own research, but personally from my standpoint, I think yes, there is going to be a big potential possibly in the next week, as I definitely can see this one start to level out for, in the next 2 or 3 days. And if that is the case, you know, we could finish on the Friday pretty flat, and if that is the case, I think we're in a good position to start next week going back upwards. So of course that could actually present some profits for the next week. But overall guys, I personally wouldn't risk too much money on this one, because even if it is a good buy in my personal view, I just think it's so risky at the minute, and we could definitely still see another day of sell-off. So even if I was going to be buying it with that 20 to 30 pound input, like I said, I would still wait a day or two to see where we could go, because yes, it definitely could jump up, don't get me wrong, but if I was going to be buying into this one, I would also be wary that it could possibly jump down in the next day or two as well. So please do consider that when you are looking into this one. But overall, for the long term, you know, it is potentially a decent buy. Obviously it's more risky, so please do consider that one, and it could definitely be overhyped right now in the sense that it could drop tomorrow and the next day. But either way, if we can see this one start to flatten out in the next few days, I think we're onto a good stock here, and it could definitely continue at this price for a decent amount of time and hopefully break into a higher price in the next week. But of course it is still hard to say. Overall though, it is up a significant amount realistically guys, and somebody did ask me to review it, so yeah, I do see it as being a decent company overall. Market cap not very big at all, so please do consider that. And obviously the stock is all over the place, so it is more of a risky investment, but you know, a lot of you guys do like to risk it. Personally, I'm not in it for the high risk, so I wouldn't buy, but it is still, you know, potentially a high risk, high reward stock to buy for the short term. Obviously, you could do the thing where you buy $10 or $15 worth of the stock and hold it for a longer period of time and see where we go, and I don't think that's a bad play either. But you know, for a short-term, quick, risky trade, obviously that is up to you. If you like high risk, high reward, maybe it is for you. If you're not so high in the risk ratios, maybe it is not for you. But obviously, I did think I would bring it to your attention, guys, so I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please do leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye until then.